so we're gonna do the demota. So I like to do stews. Crock pot's cool. It takes a little bit longer, and I have small children that don't like to wait, so I tend to go with the pot. Okay. So this is a cast iron Dutch oven. You by no means need this, but this works really nice, especially for stews that are going into the oven. Okay, this was a wedding gift. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. So if you're doing a lot of stews, it's kind of cool to have. Okay? I am also using sweet potato because that was a little easier to get my hands on this time of year. You could do that one with pumpkin as well. That would turn out really cool too. So if you look at your ingredient list for this one, first of all, the peanut butter specifies unsweetened. That's a little bit tricky to find, but there are a few out there, and if you just read the back of the label, the only ingredient will be peanuts. Okay, that'll help you a little bit. Usually your organics, they'll be separated, just mix them up. And then the other ingredient you might not be familiar with are the tomato cubes. You guys seen these before? Yeah? So you can get them in the ethnic aisle, and they're really condensed tomato and chicken flavor. So they're really nice to add to stews and soups and things like that. So my pan's getting hot, which means you can see it's getting hot. We're gonna add a little oil. All right, our onions going in our pot. Okay, so there's a couple ways to do garlic. My cloves conveniently come in nice and peeled for me, but if you lay them on the edge of your board, knife against them, palm flat, that crushes your garlic and makes it nice and easy to get a nice mince on it. See how that just breaks it up and releases all those oils? Okay, if you look at your recipe, you'll notice that the pepper listed is habanero. I couldn't get my hands on them, so I'm subbing jalapeno. Habanero is quite a bit spicier than jalapeno, and just use pepper to taste. If you like a lot of heat, you're gonna put more in it. If you don't like as much heat, back off it a little. When you're messing with peppers, wear gloves or wash immediately. So you can use the seeds, you can use the inside and everything, but that's where a lot of the heat is. So if you want to cool it down just a bit, just take that right out. And then we're going to just finely dice it. I think I'm only going to put half the pepper in this one. See how those onions are getting a nice bit of color on them? So we're going to add our chicken. I prefer the chicken be diced. For stews like this, you could do chicken breasts and then just pull them out when you're finishing the sauce or whatnot. But diced works really well for this. All right, and notice I salt and peppered it. So again, we're gonna spread it out and we're gonna let it get color. Okay, just diced Roma tomatoes. And actually, my tomatoes are gonna do a little bit of my deglazing for me because they've got a lot of liquid in them. So you'll see a lot of that brown pull off in the next few minutes. All right, we're gonna cook those for just a few minutes here. I'm gonna add my garlic. Get a little color on that as well. At this point, I'm gonna add our peanut butter. So you can see I use chunky because I like nuts. If it's a peanut dish, I like to see the nuts in it. You can use creamy just as well. And you can see the natural is gonna be a little oilier, okay? Not a problem, works well. So while you guys were trying that, I added my tomato paste and my peppers. So the tomato paste and the tomato bouillon cubes are gonna give this a very rich tomato flavor to it. Instead of using like a beef stock or a chicken stock, we're using tomato as our stock in this case. We're just gonna combine all that and add our water. And we're gonna add our bouillon cubes. So, like I said, these are a very condensed tomato, chicken, and then it also has parsley and a few other spices in it. You could probably sub chicken stock and tomato, more tomato paste, but if you can get your hands on these, they're cheap and they give it a really nice flavor. We are going to bring this to a boil. Okay, I'm gonna move this over to the other burner, cover it, and we're gonna come back to it in about 15 minutes, okay? I'm gonna take this off and hopefully you guys will smell it immediately. Okay, so right now we're gonna add our sweet potatoes. Or your pumpkin. And we're gonna let this go. This takes about 35, 40, 45 minutes from here. You're just gonna leave it covered, stir it every once in a while, and you're good to go.
Ryan Servadis here with Century 20 affiliated in South Haven, Michigan, and things to do in South Haven. I'm here with Chef Joel and Chef Sarah, and this is our 4th installment of cooking sessions. and today we did stew. Joel, why don't you tell us what you like?
I don't know about you, Sarah, but I had a really fun time cooking
Blast.
the two stews that I did. I did a traditional burgundy beef, French recipe stew, and then I went and did a Mexican stew, which is called pozole with pork shoulder and hominy. It turned out absolutely fantastic.
Then I jumped the ocean and did a African stew called the mota, which is a chicken peanut stew, and a Swedish stew which had lamb and pears in it, which I think was my favorite.
Absolutely delicious.
Nice. So make sure you make it out to taste, get a good meal, stay warm. It's middle of winter time, and we'll see you in a month.